When I started at Stanford, I knew I wanted to do something in the sustainable food realm. I majored in Earth Systems, studying sustainable ag, and also interned with Stanford Dining's sustainable food program. But I knew that my experience of food was missing some of the social dimensions. And so I applied to the Stanford-in-Washington program and asked for an internship at the USDA, which runs all of the federal nutrition programs in the country, such as food stamps or school meals. While at the USDA, something that I realized was that school lunch is not just a way to help students get through the day and complete their schoolwork, but it could also be a tool for promoting positive change for our public health and environmental stewardship. Now, I know you're looking at this image and thinking, my school lunch did not look like that wonderful DC public school lunch. And yes, it probably looked more like this, which was what mine kind of looked like too. But what's interesting is that the beginning of the National School Lunch Program was actually to blend in national security, hunger, public health, and agriculture all into one bill. In fact, today, the school lunch program serves over 5 billion meals every year in almost every public school. This has led some to compare school to the largest restaurant in every city. But these 5 billion meals go a long way towards reducing hunger. 70% of all kids who receive a public school lunch actually come from a low enough income background that they qualify for a free or reduced price lunch. For many of these children, some of whom may even be food insecure, their school meal might be the one nutritionally balanced meal of the day that they can depend on getting on a regular basis. Luckily, in 2010, with the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act, school lunch started to get healthier with more regulations coming in as to what could be served and what couldn't be served. However, as in DC, with the bill up for reauthorization this month, we'll have to see whether the regulations stick or whether they don't. In addition, the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act also created 2 large strides for sustainability. The first was in the form of the USDA Farm to School grant program, which gives funding to schools to provide local food in cafeterias, teach students about nutrition or agriculture, or even take students on a farm tour to teach them how food is grown. The USDA's rationale is that when kids know where their food is being grown, they're much more likely to eat those carrots on their plate. But this also offers so many opportunities for environmental stewardship. When children learn how their food is grown, they're getting an understanding of how the planet contributes to their own well-being and makes them early environmentalists from a young age. In addition, the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act also aligned the school lunch regulations with the National Dietary Guidelines for Americans. This opened the door for many more plant-based protein options to enter school meals. So things that 5 years ago couldn't be served, like tofu or beans, are now available as options for students. And these tend to be less environmentally intensive on the planet. And so after my time at Stanford-in-Washington, I just couldn't stop thinking about school lunches. I got to talk my way into an internship position with an Oakland-based school lunch company, working on their product development. So I got an actual sense of how business interacts with government. As I was working in the policies in DC, I was able to translate those into actual meals that I could help contribute to creating for children. When I wanted to visit friends back on campus, I got to volunteer with a Stanford Med School study, serving meals to children in East Menlo Park. And they were trying to look at the nutritional impact of school meals on children's health. So right now, I'm a co-term. I just finished figuring out my class schedule a couple days ago for the quarter. Still intern with Stanford Dining, and I'm still trying to figure out where in the whole realm of food I want to go, whether it's food service or policy. I'm also a TA at the brand new 5-acre Stanford Educational Farm, teaching a course on sustainable agriculture. And so what I hope you've taken from this talk is that school food matters, but it matters not only for our country's public health issues or environmental stewardship, but it can also be a tool for helping underprivileged children have a fighting chance for a better future. Thank you so much, and I'd love to talk more after.